What it do, Dream Team? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction video. In this one, we have Kamala Harris, a stronger candidate against Trump. I figure she's got to be. I mean, everybody saw the writing on the wall that Joe was going to lose, so he had to step down and the next person step up. I'm not sure exactly what Kamala stands for. I'm not sure what the policies she would be trying to execute would be, but I am interested in getting to learn what those policies would be, as well as getting to learn what Trump's policies would be. So before we dive into this, please don't forget to subscribe, ring that notification bell, and if you have a video suggestion of like where it kind of lays their policies out, I'd love to be able to react to either or candidate, because it's looking like, I know she still has to win the Democratic nominee, but it's looking like she's going to do that. So if anybody has videos laying out the policies of both candidates, I'd love to check it out. So here we are. Let's check this one out.
With President Biden expected to drop out of the 2024 election, some are rallying behind Vice President Kamala Harris.
No one knows better how to prosecute the case against Donald Trump than Kamala Harris.
She tried, remember, in 2020 in the Democratic primary, and we'll see if she's able to come out strong and then maintain that success this time around.
It does put us in a position to have a significantly more competitive election had Joe Biden stayed in the race.
Here's how Harris could stack up in a race against former President Donald Trump.
Donald Trump simply does not have the character to be president of the United States.
Experts say Harris could have a tough campaign trail ahead, but she does have some key advantages.
How do you win the presidency if you don't win the majority of white voters? You have to check off all of the other boxes.
One advantage Harris has is her potential to win over more women, people of color, and young voters.
We're going to be able to effectively make the case about women's health care, their right in terms of choosing how they want to live their lives.
This is a fight for freedom. The fundamental freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body.
A Wall Street Journal poll in April found that abortion was the most powerful issue by far, driving suburban women in swing states. Over half of the women in the poll said Trump's policies on abortion were too restrictive. Some Democrats and political experts also expect Harris to invoke more excitement from black voters.
So they're saying Kamala will have to check all of the boxes. She's not going to win the majority white vote. I guess she'll have to check the boxes of getting more women, getting all the minorities, I assume, and then standing our policies that are actually big issues for women in these swing states, which would be policy, her stance on abortion, where I think she believes to be pro-choice, whereas Trump is pro-life. So that would, and getting the younger people to vote for her. Those would be her advantages in making this a more competitive race.
A critical advantage at a time when support from that group was slipping for Biden.
As an African-American woman, she's going to have a unique opportunity in terms of how she communicates and has a conversation with voters in Detroit, Michigan, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. These urban centers are really where we're going to need historic turnout to consolidate around Kamala, so that way we win these critical swing states.
Harris could stand to gain younger voters who had lost confidence in Biden's ability to beat Trump.
Kamala Harris gets to be the knight in shining armor here. She gets to ride in on the horse and be the candidate that is not Joe Biden, that can carry the policies and ideas of Joe Biden without some of the concerns that led to Joe Biden's decision to remove himself.
A July poll by Emerson College, conducted before the assassination attempt on Trump, found that people between the ages of 18 and 29 were the least motivated to vote. Biden was still leading the Democratic ticket at the time of the poll.
It's the younger Democrats, which is, in my opinion, the base of the party. And it's more than just voting. It's about canvassing. It's about phone calling. It's about get out the vote efforts.
We cannot do it without all of your help.
All of this is part of the campaign that I think was lacking with Biden, and that's why we have Harris, to see if we can capture that energy that has been missing.
I can see that. Yeah, it seems like her being younger, she would be able to like go out and do more campaigns, go out and do more interviews, go out and do more, get herself out there more, and recognize more, and I guess get her policies heard more. Whereas Biden is just, I mean, come on, we all saw the writing on the wall. Don't know if the man was gonna last 4 more years. Too old. He it was a good thing he stepped out of the race because it wouldn't have been good.
Harris actually channels a lot of the candidate characteristics and features of Obama that generated this excitement in 2008.
He was awesome. He was brilliant. Just what I was looking for.
This is a young candidate of color that is going to sell us on a vision of America that is multicultural, that is more unified, that is moving into a new future.
At 59 years old, Harris is significantly younger than Biden, who's 81.
We get to go coast to coast without worrying about her energy level in terms of hitting critical media markets.
Some political experts say Harris's background as a prosecutor helped her come off as a strong debater in her 2020 presidential campaign.
You know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools, and she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me.
This becomes a moment where Harris looks extremely strong. Suddenly she goes from polling in the single digits to close to 20%.
And after her vice presidential debate with Mike Pence, polls showed that more voters thought she won.
Well, let's go. But Susan, this is important. I want to add, but Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
Experts say that in a race against Trump, she needs to replicate that debate success.
You also have to be very careful because we've never seen someone survive an assassination attempt and then step onto the debate stage, talk about this openly as a signal of love of country.
That's facts. That is definitely facts. He's the first of any. Is he the? I didn't know it. I didn't think about that fact. Yeah, I think he in that attempt, which was absolutely disgusting, to try to take the life of Donald Trump, and was disgusting that there were innocent lives there that were taken. I can't stand that. It's absolutely disgusting. But thankfully, Trump did survive that attempt. And I think after that attempt, he already had a lot of support, but I think he gained even more in surviving that attempt and putting his fist in the air and telling America to fight. I think he gained more. So,
how will Kamala Harris handle the events that have catapulted Trump's popularity and favorability amongst his base?
Recent polls like this one by Emerson College show Harris significantly trails Trump.
What we've seen over the last year when Biden was on the ticket is Trump had a ceiling of about 46%. Never does he really go above that number, not before the conviction, after the conviction, post-debate. Biden was losing ground or gaining ground, but not being able to get over 45%. Can a Harris candidacy get over 45, 48%? What she really needs to do is get closer to 50%, and that could give the Democrats the edge.
But polls only capture voters' feelings at a specific moment in time. And these results came in before the assassination attempt on Trump and before Biden dropped out of the race.
When we're looking at these polls prior to the announcement, these are hypothetical candidates. And we ask voters who really haven't taken much time to think about these individuals. So they give you a knee-jerk reaction, generally based on name recognition. With Harris, you see lower numbers in some of these demographics. But over the course of a few weeks, I expect to see them bounce back in her favor.
But in a toe-to-toe race against Trump, experts say Harris would need to prove that she's a strong leader, something 44% of voters said they were looking for in a candidate, according to a poll by Monmouth University.
I think 100% of voters should be looking for a strong, determined leader to lead the country on the right path. Not sure who that person is, but... yeah, I mean, this country is just, it needs someone to pull it out of mediocrity, because this country is supposed to be absolutely amazing, and I'm not trying to disrespect it in any way. I love living in America. I love being here. I wouldn't move and live anywhere else. This is my home. But I'm saying there's a lot of problems. There's a lot of issues in this country. I do recognize that we need a strong leader to pull us out of. Now, in saying all this, I'm a believer in it's behind the scenes, it's puppeteers, people pulling the strings behind the scenes, whereas the president really just the face of the country, but those people behind the scenes really run it, such as the elite, such as the owners of these corporations, such as names you might never even heard of, because I think they be pulling the street, but that's just me. I could be called a conspiracy theorist in those beliefs, but we'll continue with the video.
Voters said they were looking for in a candidate, according to a poll by Monmouth University.
Donald Trump, this is a person that is not shy on confidence.
Nobody knows the system better than me.
With people who are already sort of ideologically aligned and therefore also see Trump as an effective leader, he's in a prime position to demonstrate this idea of, I am the leader of the free world. With Kamala Harris, what will be her I am the leader of the free world moment?
The biggest concern for Harris will be immigration.
My trip to Guatemala and Mexico was about addressing the root causes.
She's going to have to defend those policies.
Kamala had one job, and that was to fix the border. Now imagine her in charge of the entire country.
But at the end of the day, some experts say this is a race based on personalities, not policies. And Harris replacing Biden.
Nah, hit that dance one more time. We got to see that.
It's a race based on personalities, not policies. And Harris replacing Biden would force the Trump campaign to change its offensive strategy.
Trump has spent so much time the last 3.5 years on Biden.
Could you imagine if Biden was up here and the teleprompters didn't work?
And we'll see how he's able to make his case against Harris.
They can't decide which of their candidates is more unfit to be president. Sleepy, crooked Joe Biden or laughing Kamala.
Harris entering the race now would be the latest a candidate has joined a presidential election since 1968. Biden had been the presumptive nominee since March.
This creates questions around how well organized the Democratic Party may be.
It's a very short onboarding process. Joe Biden, Donald Trump, they've been around. While Vice President Harris has had an extensive career, it's certainly not nearly as long as these other two candidates.
But a big question remains. Who would Harris pick to be her vice president?
It's going to be very important both regionally and demographically because she needs to shore up some of her base.
That decision might be the key to what experts say is Harris's best path forward.
The Obama coalition that we saw in 2008. Can you bring that group back together?
That's a coalition of robust historical turnout African Americans dominating amongst Latinos and really holding your own amongst white voters and rural voters so that way there's no more bleed to the Republican Party.
What the Democrats really liked was President Obama in his ability to articulate ideas and talk to groups of people and get them excited.
Yes, we can.
If candidate Harris is able to speak with that confidence and be able to rally groups with her voice, would be an exceptional game changer in this race.
Well, we about to find out. I believe it's in November, also the month of my son being born. I absolutely can't wait. But find out who's the next leader of the free world to be. Y'all let me know who y'all should think it should be, why you think it should be them, and lead me to some more videos about the two candidates. I'm very interested and fascinated in learning more. I haven't formed my opinion on who I would vote for out of these two because I don't know their policies and I don't know what these two stand for. So I'd have to learn all that before I form an educated opinion. But that's all I have. If you guys enjoyed that, please don't forget to subscribe and check this video out next. See you on the next one.